and I'm about to go over what I believe to be the biggest dollar amount and percentage gain on an individual stock by a public individual in the past 2 weeks. So let's look at the stock. This is not the gain, this is just a P&L screenshot that I found just to bring up something to look at. This is what the ticker is, SNDK SanDisk. You know SanDisk. It's a memory stock. And let's go through what it looks like the process was. So we can read verbatim. Let us go through it. You'll understand why this will start. A good strong start. Clean base, 2 clear lines in the sand. Pyramiding through an inside breakout and then a full breakout. So a lot of words there. But here's a line that Lucas drew with the short bears. This person's name is Lucas. He drew that. So the clean base inside breakout. This is a 1 hour chart. So that's why it's not looking like a day trading chart. It's not looking like a swing trading chart. It looks a little bit in between. So that's what we've got going on. And I'll show you exactly what it looks like on the big screen because it might be a little smoother over here. So this is what he's drawing. He's kind of drew a moving average. I know I didn't show it. I didn't zoom in, but this is what he drew here. Okay, he might have just been drawing too. I don't know. But here's what he says. Okay. I wanted to get a starter to get a better feel to make sure I had a small anchor from the initial base. And then some blah, blah, blah macro stuff. Okay, but it's not really blah, blah, blah. Because I looked this up. This is actually DDRAM. This is a real index indicating a lot of people want memory. Sam Altman wants to buy all the memory. So whether he found that at the time or after, it's not really material to this conversation, but that was definitely confirmed. So here's the first entry though, just to be super clear. This says the 19th, December 19th. So if it feels like we're jumping around here, this is the day that we're talking about, right here. Okay. So what's interesting in my opinion about this day is it doesn't totally look like a breakout yet, right? I mean, and maybe it does to you, but this isn't, perfectly clean. It's a little messy. It's definitely a base. He calls it a clean base. Maybe it is a clean base. We got to give the trader who made this trade, who's probably top 5 in the world, the benefit of the doubt that it is a clean base. So inside breakout and then a full breakout. So this is maybe the inside breakout that he's talking about, because there's sort of a line here, and it started to break out above there, and this would be the full breakout I think he's talking about, which is a line here. So that happens up here on January 6th. But what's impressive here is this is the 19th, and we can look at what that day looked like. That was right here. It didn't just go, right? I mean, we can look even further back on a 180-day chart. This is the 19th here. It didn't just go. It came back. It came back it's possible he was actually a little underwater here. Not a lot, but sorry, I used the wrong drawing tool. Maybe a percent at most, depending on where exactly. Maybe not. Maybe he wasn't underwater at all. Maybe 0.5%. I'm just showing you that because this is about as ideal as it gets. Not only did he get to wait for this to happen, I mean, obviously he was underwater. Right here, this is his entry. It went down a little bit, so 240 to 232 or change is like, I don't know, a couple 3% at most down, but it held. So that's the starter, and then here's the second entry. So this is where the pyramid starts. And this is interesting too. He says the fact that we stopped there and sold off sharply was not a sign of weakness to me, but strength. So here's his next ad. And this is on January 5th. It's not super bright, but you can see it on there on the screen. And we can confirm with the prices where this is. So where is this? Somewhere in the 270 to 280 range. On the 5th, this is the 5th right here, this day. And you can see, everything looks great zoomed out, but when you actually zoom in, this is kind of a big down day, right? From top to bottom, this is 12%. I think that's what he was talking about here. He started to talk about 12% right here, added more 1/6 on top, or about 12 to 13% more size into the close. It doesn't make sense to me, so I actually asked him, is this January 8th, 11 a.m. at 1/6? Because you can see this is January 8th. It's hard to see, but you just have to trust me down there. It says January 8th down on the left, and this is definitely 11 a.m., just about. So he sold some and then added back. So I didn't quite understand what he said, so I asked him that. But the main thing that he was trying to get across, I think, which is counterintuitive, was that we sold off, and this was not a sign of weakness to him, but strength. Someone wanted it so bad they used a blitz to be able to accumulate. Before the breakout, I loaded in heavy. Very healthy move in my view, with a quick wash to be able to accumulate into the breakout. I don't know what this refers to, constant pattern of quick slashes into grinding move higher. I think he's talking about after he added his last bit after this bounce, but I'm not 100% on that. But this is the day, okay? It did go down 12% or so. And if we look on chart, this is what that looked like. So it's down a lot. So the reason why this is so counterintuitive is if we look on a big chart, we can see that this almost starts to look like a double top, or something that some people would, short. Double top is something short sellers look for. Of course, the way that this coiled and started to go up, it's not the prettiest thing you would want to short, but still, it's not totally straightforward. So he waited for it to come down. Well, he didn't totally wait. He bought sort of into that move down. But the main idea is he definitely had strong conviction that this was going to move back up. So pretty impressive size to get in there. Now, of course, he didn't know that we were going to get more moves up, but still. So that was on. Okay, that was on the 5th, actually. So, yeah, it's this day. I think I was showing you that. Yeah, that's what I was trying to show you. The 5th. Okay, yeah, it's this day. That's what I was trying to show you. So it doesn't look quite so bad, this selling off. But compared to the previous day, it doesn't look totally obvious that it's going to keep going up. The 8th is a pretty significant sell-off. And that is the next chart that we already looked at. Okay, so that's where he sold some and then added back at 11 a.m. on the 8th, which we did talk about. So it's all in order here. I'm the one that's out of order, not Lucas. So this was his main thought: do not sell, do not sell. And this is where he started to sell out some. This is on the 9th, and this was the big day, which makes this day pretty impressive to add here. Again, it looks like he sold some up here and added here around 11 a.m. and then started to sell up this day on the 9th, which we see right here. So pretty much ideal. If we look where we're at now, we're January 12th, Monday, and we hit this $400 level, and he sold a lot of this on the 9th, so on Friday. Pretty great. So here's the finish here. We're now extending 40 to 60% from the sequence beginning and straight line. I think he's probably talking about maybe this is the straight line. We already did draw 2 straight lines here. This breakout, the all-time high breakout, and then this inside breakout. So however you measure it, from this initial starter entry, we're definitely up 40 to 60 plus percent. It's up a lot. Or, yeah, 40 plus percent from the all-time high breakout. So we're definitely talking about the same thing here. And these are his last sells, which were pretty great. It looks like this is about as good as you can do for those sells. So that's it. I just wanted to basically share this. I did ask him about that day, but I think we sort of get the idea regardless, that was an ad, and he sold out some and then added back. So it's sort of like he had a core position, and then he trimmed some and then got back into a sort of still a swing trade because it is multi-day. Again, this is January 8th. Today is the 12th. But lightened up and made use of, it's not surprising that the stock pulled back on this day, on the 8th, and still held until 400. So let's just see what he said lastly here. Unbelievable and aggressive trade with no time for unplanned moves. So the executions speak for themselves. And I hope this helps you guys.